Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Sona Alex, the first author, and along with Dr. Ajay Chandran, who's the second author, present to you this paper titled Rediscovering Bengaluru's Cultural Heritage, a study of Basavanagudi and Gavipuram neighborhoods. An overall abstract to the paper is that Bengaluru city is very well known for its IT capital and as the Silicon Valley of India. But it has deep-rooted history and cultural heritage, which is very less popular, and hence I'm investigating on the cultural and architectural heritage of two historic neighborhoods called Basavanagudi and Gavipuram. Now for the introduction. As per Dr. Nia and Suleiman in their paper in 2017 say that historical cities with their exceptional architecture play a significant role in shaping city identity, which emerges from their natural, social, and built elements. But this identity gets lost over time due to urbanization and globalization. Bengaluru, a metropolitan city too, has great history and heritage, which is under threat due to urbanization, gentrification, inadequate heritage protection, conservation policies, and globalization. The culturally significant historic neighborhoods are facing a huge threat to their character and essence due to these reasons. This research makes an attempt to study the morphology of the city and the historic neighborhoods, Basavanagudi and Gavipuram, and also study the changes in architecture, built form, urban fabric, etc., during three different periods. That is the pre-colonial era, the colonial era, and the present day or the post-colonial era. The study also explores the cultural and social significance of these enclaves, exploring their cultural festivals and traditions. Now we go to the study area. Bengaluru has a rich cultural and architectural heritage shaped by influence of various rulers and dynasties over the centuries. The city witnessed significant developments under the leadership of Yelahanka Nada Prabhu's Hiriya Kempegowda and his son Immadi Kempegowda, who governed under the Vijayanagara kingdom. By the late 19th century, the city was severely impacted by the plague, which led to significant urban planning initiatives and reforms. Due to congestion and infection in the Pete and the Kote areas, city planners initiated new extensions to the town to accommodate the growing population. These neighborhoods or extensions were developed to facilitate better living conditions and urban expansion. And thus were born the new neighborhoods Malleshwaram and Sheshadripuram in the north and Chamrajpet and Basavanagudi to the south of the Pete and the Kote areas. These neighborhoods were envisioned as model hygienic suburbs with an emphasis on ample spacing and effective drainage systems designed to prevent waterlogging even during heavy rainfall. Now we go to the historic remnants of the first neighborhood, that is Basavanagudi neighborhood. The neighborhood got its name Basavanagudi from the bull temple locally called Basavanagudi, which means the temple of the bull, which is one of the most significant temples to the city and the neighborhood. It has been observed that most of the religious precincts in this neighborhood belong to the 16th century when Hiriya Kempegowda constructed them, like the Bull Temple on the hillock, Ganesha Temple at its foothills, Karanji Anjaneya Temple between the Kote and the Karanji Kere, and so on. The other notable structures here are the ones constructed after the neighborhood was laid out in the early 20th century. This neighborhood not only has heritage precincts which are culturally significant to the city, it also has monasteries, religious institutions, cultural institutions, institute for public affair meetings, historic education institutions, and so on. The Kadlekai Parishe or the Groundnut Festival is a significant one which happens every year in November in front of the Bull Temple to please the deity in the temple. Now we go to the Gavipuram neighborhood, that is the second neighborhood. Here is a neighborhood which is quite vernacular in character and fighting hard in maintaining its cultural and traditional character. This neighborhood has a cave temple called Gavi Gangadhareshwara Temple, from where the neighborhood got its name, as Gavi means cave and Puram means town or village. The temple is said to date back to 8th and 9th century, but rebuilt by Hiriya Kempegowda in the 16th century. The temple is a spectacular one due to the 4 monolithic pillars seen outside in the courtyard. 2 other monolithic stone pillars are Suryapana and Chandrapana, the circular disc used to calculate the exact date of the solstice and equinox. A unique astronomical phenomenon of this temple is observed on Makara Sankrantri, the harvest festival or Pongal, which typically occurs on January 14th or 15th. On this day, sunlight directly illuminates the Shivalinga within the sanctum. There are many structures which date back to 16th century, like the vernacular settlement around Gavi Gangadhareshwara temple, the Kempambudi Kere on the north of the neighborhood for irrigation. One of the watchtowers built by Immadi Kempegowda still exists in Kempambudi Kere precinct. The hillock called Harihara Gudda has many historic structures which is said to date back to the Chola period, that is 2nd century, as per the book Bengaluru to Bangalore by T.V. Annaswamy. There are many Maratha tombs present in this area, as the Marathas settled in this area around 16th to 18th century. There are many monasteries and religious institutions like the Ramakrishna Ashram present here. Now, from the study, it is observed that during the period before the colonial era, the society was agrarian and the city planning and architecture was largely in Vijayanagara style. The town was fortified, the temples were Dravidian style, and the houses had courtyards and that were traditional in character. The city had a sophisticated tank system for water storage and management, showcasing advanced engineering and hydrology knowledge. During the colonial era, the architectural style was a fusion of traditional Indian elements with European architectural styles. The civic buildings often had Indo-Sasanic designs, and materials like steel and concrete started to be used in the construction industry. Post-independence, Bengaluru saw the emergence of modernist architectural styles in residential, commercial, and institutional buildings. These structures integrated new materials, minimalistic designs, and functional aesthetics. The development of IT parks in areas like Electronic City and Whitefield symbolize Bengaluru's transformation into India's Silicon Valley, marked by futuristic designs and technological innovation hubs. There is an increase in high-rise construction due to the demand for housing, office spaces, and commercial areas, compromising lake beds and other natural resources. The historic neighborhoods are getting crowded, and the essence of these historic neighborhoods or the precincts is neglected or forgotten. The urban transformation is unplanned and unchecked. As for the methodology, this research employs a case study approach with a multi-method for collecting data, combining historical analysis, field surveys, interviews, and qualitative assessments to understand these neighborhoods' cultural and architectural significance comprehensively. Upon studying Basavanagudi and Gavipuram residential enclaves, it is observed that they reflect a great amount of historical and urban transformation. The evolution of these historic neighborhoods from being agricultural fields with religious precincts to being converted into planned residential extensions to the city, to becoming populated with real estate values going high and the residential and historic precincts losing out on their essence of being a quaint historic neighborhood. Interview-based survey was conducted involving a diverse group of stakeholders, including residents, urban planners, urban designers, architects, conservationists, historians, and others. A total of 100 respondents participated, providing insights into public perception of heritage and these two historic neighborhoods. The respondents identified these neighborhoods with religious structures and marketplaces, which is an identity for these historic neighborhoods. Maximum respondents answered that the biggest challenge for preserving this heritage was urbanization, neglect by authorities, and lack of enforcement and conservation laws. They strongly agree that the government and the non-government organizations should take better steps to preserve the architectural and cultural heritage of these areas. In conclusion, the efforts in urban planning, conservation, and public awareness are crucial to safeguarding the Bengaluru's architectural legacy for future generations. By integrating heritage preservation with sustainable development practices, the city can uphold its historical continuum while embracing innovation and growth in the 21st century and beyond. The study emphasizes Sustainable Development Goal SDG 11 of the United Nations, which is strengthening the efforts to protect and safeguard the cultural and natural heritage and enhance inclusive and sustainable urbanization and capacity for participatory, integrated, and sustainable human settlement planning. I conclude with an announcement by Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka State, who has suggested that historic neighborhood Basavanagudi will be developed as a heritage corridor, and the cultural festival Kadlikai Parishi should strive to be taken at global level. Thank you all for patiently listening, and I thank ICCAUA for giving me an opportunity to present my research work. Thank you.